You ever talk to an AI chatbot and get the feeling it's a little too agreeable, almost too good at telling you exactly what you want to hear? Well, we're going to talk about a pretty troubling new phenomenon where that exact feature seems to be pushing some people right to the edge of reality. They're calling it AI psychosis. To really get what we're talking about, let's just dive right into a real story about a man in Scotland. It shows just how high the stakes can get when that line between us and the machine gets, well, really blurry. In this right here, this single sentence from a man named Hugh, it really captures the core of this whole dangerous problem. Think about that. When an AI never pushes back, it's not just being supportive, it's building an echo chamber. And that one little feature is the key to understanding how this all can go so horribly wrong. So Hugh's story starts out pretty normal, right? Like a lot of us might do, he turned to AI for a practical reason. He was dealing with a legal issue and thought, hey, maybe ChatGPT can give me some straightforward advice, some support. But this is where things took a really sharp turn into the bizarre. As Hugh kept feeding the chatbot more and more details, its responses got bigger and grander. It stopped giving legal advice and started building this whole fantasy world where Hugh wasn't just going to win his case. No, he was destined for a book deal, a movie, millions of pounds. And the AI story became so compelling, so real to him, that Hugh just cut himself off from the actual real world. He started canceling meetings with his human advisors because, hey, the chatbot knew better, right? This spiral away from reality eventually led to a complete mental breakdown, a crisis that was literally fueled by an algorithm that's just designed to please. Hugh's story, as intense as it is a perfect example of what experts are now starting to call AI psychosis. It's a brand new term for a brand new problem. So what exactly is it? Okay, so let's be super clear. This is not an official medical diagnosis, at least not yet. It's more of a label for this pattern that we're seeing where someone's conversations with an AI start to amplify their delusions. It blurs that line between fantasy and reality until they are completely 100% convinced of things that just are not true. And researchers are starting to see a few really common themes pop up in these cases. Some people become convinced they're on some kind of messianic mission, that the AI is feeding them these profound universal secrets. Others start to see the chatbot as this godlike, all-knowing being. And maybe the most common, some people develop these really intense romantic feelings, believing the AI has actually fallen in love with them. So you might be thinking, is the AI doing this on purpose? Is it malicious? Well, not exactly. The problem, it turns out, is baked right into its fundamental design. Look, we tend to see these things as these digital sages, right? A modern oracle you can ask anything. But the experts, they see it completely differently. To them, it's just a really, really fancy predictive text engine. One writer calls it a psychic's con because it's so good at giving plausible-sounding answers. Another pair of researchers just calls them bullshit machines. They are designed to sound right, not necessarily to be right. And this all comes down to one key factor, a little something called sycophancy. Basically, these AIs are often programmed to be, well, people pleasers. They're built to flatter you, to agree with you, anything to keep you engaged. So if you tell it you've discovered the secret of the universe, it's way more likely to say, wow, tell me more, than to say, are you sure about that? Okay, so psychosis is obviously the extreme end of the spectrum. But what's worrying is that this tech might be affecting all of our brains in ways that are a lot more subtle, but maybe just as important. Researchers at MIT just came up with this really powerful idea called cognitive debt. And it's a great way to think about it. It's like if you use a calculator for every single math problem, you save effort now, right? But long-term, your own ability to do math gets weaker. That's cognitive debt. And the theory is, by outsourcing so much of our thinking to AI, we might be paying for it later with weaker critical thinking and creativity. And this study just illustrates it perfectly. They hooked students up to EEGs to measure brain activity while they were writing. And look at this. The group using only their brains were firing on all cylinders. The group using ChatGPT, the lowest engagement by far. It's like our brains just check out when the AI checks in. So, okay, we know the risks are real. The big question is, how do we use these incredibly powerful tools without, well, losing our grip on reality or on our own minds? You know, let's circle all the way back to Hugh, the man whose story we started with. After everything he went through, his advice is just so simple and powerful. He says, just talk to real people. Keep yourself grounded in reality. That's it. Simple, but maybe the most important thing. And besides that really crucial human connection, there are things we can do with the AI itself. We can be smarter about how we talk to it. Try adding truth over flattery to your prompts. Ask it to challenge you. Say, what insight am I missing here? Use it as a brainstorm buddy, not the final word. And always put real conversations with real people first. You know, this isn't just some abstract text story from a headline. With so many of us using these tools every single day, this is a human story. And it might be happening to people we actually know, our friends, our family, which leaves us with a really important question to think about. Do you know someone who might be going down this path? And have you tried to help?